Peter No Mercy Yarn. Round of applause. Absolute masterclass from Peter No Mercy Yarn. And he did not show any mercy at all. What a guy, man. Absolute masterclass from round 1 to 5. Peter Yan defeats Murad Dvalishvili at UFC 323. What a great performance. Great adjustments from the first fight. And he just showed why he is the best in the world right now. Let's get into it, guys. Let's break it down. Obviously, UFC 323 is done and dusted. I'll be honest, guys. I fell asleep. I was fucking tired last night. I don't know why I was so tired, but I was really, really tired. Got in my bed. I was actually watching the prelims on my phone, and then I got into bed. I was gonna put it on my iPad. I said, let me lay here for a couple of minutes or like 10 minutes before I go back and watch it. And I was tired. I knocked out. But I woke up, bro, imagine, guys, that's how you know my body is just used to being awake at them sort of times when there's a card on. Because guess when I woke up? 6 o'clock UK time, 6 a.m. in the morning, when the card would have literally just have finished. So what did I go and do? Went and watched it. I was up, so I thought, you know what? I might as well watch it. I watched the whole 25 minutes. And honestly, Peter Yan, he just showed us how to beat a wrestler. And to be honest, the first fight between the two was very close. But Peter Yan made very, very good adjustments in this fight. And in my opinion, what he did that stopped Marab from getting into it. One, he stopped Marab from getting into his rhythm. We know how Marab likes to fight. He likes to pressure people, take them down. He'll let you back up. He'll throw some strikes, take you down, and he'll keep mixing it up like that. But Peter Yan did not allow Marab to get into his rhythm. He was the one backing Marab up most of the fight. He was the one sticking it on Marab. And anytime Marab tried to shoot for a takedown, because Marab sometimes he'll shoot for takedowns and he won't actually go through with a takedown. Maybe he doesn't feel he can fully get it, so he'll back out of it. And in the midst of that reset, that's where Peter Yan took advantage. He made sure to punish Marab anytime that happened, to let him know, okay, you couldn't take me down. Now I'm going to cause some chaos in between that reset. Boom, 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 boom. Land his shots. And honestly, that was beautiful chaos that Yan was putting on in those situations. Even in the clinch situations when they would disengage, Yan was making him pay. If Marab did not get that takedown, Yan was making him pay. And Marab was only able to, he shot 26 times and he was only able to take down Peter Yan twice. Peter Yan actually got 5 takedowns on Marab, which is crazy. So, and like Peter Yan said, Marab is a machine, but all machines must break, or all machines break. And that's essentially what we saw happen in this rematch. Honest to God, Marab did not have any answers for anything. Obviously, the way Marab strikes, he throws in flurries, but it's like he wings his punches. Everything Peter Yan was firing was straight down the pipe. And he kept in their little exchanges, especially with the boxing. Peter Yan was cracking Marab, man. Hurt him a few times with the body kicks. I'm surprised that Marab didn't try and catch one of those body kicks or. But you know what? You know why he probably didn't catch on to that? Because Peter Yan was doing so good switching stances. And he kept catching Marab every time Yan went back into southpaw. That body kick was getting fired. Because when you're in opposite stance, the body kick's available, as most of you know. But honestly, great performance from Peter Yan. Great performance. And after seeing that, listen, Marab and Peter Yan are definitely the best two in that division, without a doubt. There's no question about that. I just question whether. Listen, guys. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Marab. I actually like Peter Yan. I don't really care for Marab, but I did say in the press conference before, Marab did look drained. That's just my opinion, and he genuinely did look drained, whether he was drained or not. And he tells us he doesn't hire nutritionists, he doesn't use teammates, he cuts weight the natural way, which is, I think, to just starve yourself because he doesn't trust people. And essentially, that's actually draining yourself when you think about it. So I don't know. Marab didn't look. And when I say this, I don't. Whenever I say, I like to play devil's advocate. I like to see things from both sides, and I always do things like that. Like I will never come on here and just talk about, oh, Peter Yan's game plan is this, or he did very well, which he did do well, and his game plan was, he executed his game plan to a T. But Marab did not look his usual self. I don't know whether that was down to fatigue or being drained. He didn't look gassed, to be honest. But I do think that the weight cut did take a toll on him. I mean, that's 4 back-to-back big weight cuts. And I didn't know. I don't know what he walks around, but I didn't know that it was actually a struggle for him to get down to 135 pounds. So, boy, hats off to Marab Dvalishvili. He's still up there with one of the greatest of all time. And shout out to Peter Yan. You did the MMA community the MMA community is so happy. I could just cry right now. Peter Yan. We thank our living God. We did not want to see Marab anymore. Peter Yan, you are the fucking man. Salute yourself, my friend. But anyways, guys, before we end the video, can we talk about Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van? What a fucking freak accident. I'm not gonna lie, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they should have made Joshua Van the champ. I think it should have been ruled as a no contest because it literally happened in the first round, within the first minute. So I think it should have, and Pantoja looked good. He came out aggressive. He was putting it on Joshua Van. Obviously, Joshua Van is a counter striker, but Pantoja looked like he meant business. He didn't look like he came to play against Joshua Van. I can't lie. It looked like he came there to show, I'm the man. I'm your daddy and you my son, little man. That's what it looked like. And then obviously goes to throw a head kick. Yan kind of flips him, makes him roll, and he ends up Dana White said it was a shoulder, but it literally looks like his elbow. So I think he dislocated his shoulder. Obviously, we don't know if there's ligament damages and whatnot. But that fight did look like it was going to go on to be a banger of a fight. So it's a shame that it had to be stopped like that. But, like I said, I don't think Joshua Van should have been made the champion. What I think should have happened is a no contest. Then in the meantime, because Dana White even said himself, Joshua Van is now champion. Really and truly, it should be him versus Pantoja in a rematch. But Pantoja is probably going to be out for a while, so Joshua Van is going to take on someone else. So why not rule it as a no contest? Joshua Van versus whoever for the interim belt, and then the winner fights Pantoja, which probably will be Joshua Van. That's what I think should have been done, because it's not really fair to Alexandre Pantoja, who's had 4 title defenses back to back. He's bullying that division. He's beat most of the guys in that division, and a freak accident happens. It's like the Conor McGregor leg break. Listen, I don't give a shit if somebody was winning the first round or was winning the first minute. That does not matter to me, because a fight, anything can happen. Fights change tides all the time. So you never know what could have happened. So I genuinely think it should have been ruled as a no contest. Do a Joshua Van versus whoever for interim championship. Then Pantoja's back. You make that big fight. But unfortunately, the UFC does not work like that. For what reason, I do not know. But it is what it is. To be honest, UFC 323 was a good card. I watched from the early prelims. You know what? Maybe that's why I was a bit tired because I don't usually watch from the early prelims. I'll usually only watch from the prelims up until the last fight on the main card. But I'll watch from the early prelims. Great card. Saw some good. Hey, Ibo Aslan and Ivo Baraneski, I think that's his name, and Terence McKinney and Christian Duncan. Those two fights could potentially be fight of the night. Even Jan and Marab could be fight of the night. But Ibo Aslan, man, bro, what happened to the Turkish? To be fair, the Turkish power was there, but you just got too greedy, you got too hungry, and you thought, yeah, I'm gonna smoke my man, and my man ended up knocking you out. And I knew it was gonna happen because, bruv, you were going too ham. Even when you hurt Ibo, you were like, bruv, that Ibo pisses me off. He's probably gonna get cut by the UFC now, but it is what it is. UFC 323 as a whole, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It was actually a very good card. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're happy with Peter Yan being the champion. Yeah, because I know a lot of the MMA community is fucking over the moon. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe, guys.